für YouTube jetzt. Haha. Hallo YouTube. Aufnahme für euch ist gestartet. Gestern hatten wir Bomber Girl, heute geht es weiter mit, was hatten wir uns denn ausgesucht? Slingshot. Dazwischen wäre noch Larsen and the Dreadnoughts. Das ist wieder so raumschlachtmäßig, ist nicht, wie gesagt, am Ende. Dann hätten wir Thicker Than Water. Das ist von Potemkin. Wie heißen die? Moment, ich habe den einen ja offen von Potemkin 1711 zusammengeschrieben. Potemkin, um es genau zu machen. Da hätten wir Figure Than Water. Ich habe jetzt Slingshot aufgemacht, weil der sagt mir nichts. Wenn wir ihn schon gesehen haben, egal, aber Figure Than Water haben wir auf jeden Fall schon 4-mal gesehen oder so. Das ist also, nee. Ich habe auch ausgelassen Farragut Forward. Der wird am Samstag von mir gezeigt, weil der gehört bei mir zu meinen liebsten Fanfilmen aus Star Trek. Ich habe eh mehr aus Star Trek als alle anderen, aber das lassen wir jetzt mal dahingestellt, ne? Und Night Shift sagt mir jetzt soweit auch nichts von Potemkin. Den werden wir uns auch noch reinziehen. Und das Prometheus-Programm auch. Also heute wird es ein bisschen Prometheus-lastig, aber da sind noch andere dabei. Zum Beispiel Deception Teil 3 haben wir auch noch. Wir gucken also mal, was wir haben. Wir fangen jetzt... Was war denn das jetzt? Jetzt hat die Seite kurz gesponnen bei mir. Habt ihr euch alle bei denen auf der Seite eingeloggt, um zu gucken? Das ist aber fies von euch. So, wie gesagt, jetzt fangen wir hier mal an. Ein bisschen Palaver vorab, damit ihr wisst, worum es geht. Und ich sollte vielleicht noch umstellen. Ne, das war der falsche Tee, will ich euch jetzt nicht geben. So. Ja, jetzt musst du krachen. Ich muss unbedingt mal den Lüfter darin austauschen. Ich komme nicht dazu. Ich arbeite zu viel. Naja. Zeta Pavonis, 7 ist der Planet. Und wir sind jetzt bei Slingshot. Während der da gerade aus dem Urlaub anscheinend zurückkommt, ich nehme das mal an bei dem Ball und der Zigarre und dem Hut hinten drauf, würde ich jetzt mal sagen, das ist das beste Beispiel dafür, wie kreativ Star Trek-Fans sein können. Weil es ist keine offizielle Uniform, ein Rollkragenpulli in der richtigen Farbe kann sich jeder leisten, die Dinger gibt es für ganz wenig Geld. Und das Abzeichen, das kostet auch nur ein Apfel und ein Ei im Internet. Also, und die Kulissen, die sie gebaut haben, hey, made my day. Und das hier, sich einfach ein Pult hinstellen, wo man einfach draufklebt, was man haben will an Dingern. Hey, so kann man es machen. Ich finde es geil. Und einen einfachen Lichtschalter haben wir auch noch verbaut. Das ist ja noch genialer.
Welcome home, Captain.
Thanks, Bill. I swear, every stinking time I get short. So what's this all about? And why did you...
Sorry, Captain. Palmer, that will be all. As to your first point, Commodore Walker will explain that to you personally now that you're back on board. Of course, we tried contacting you, but apparently your communicator was lost or damaged.
Oh, yeah. Get that fixed for me, will you? And let Commodore Walker know I'm back on board and I'll be ready in 15. I have got to get a shower.
Aye, sir.
Go ahead.
Captain, I have Commodore Walker for you. Seems urgent.
On screen, Lieutenant. Captain Harper here, as required, Commodore.
Sorry, Tim. Duty calls.
It goes with the territory, sir. What's up?
There's a pressing situation on the space lab, Pavona 3. Heard of it?
Pavona 3. I don't think so. Should I have?
Not really. But now I wish I hadn't. Here's what you need to know. 1. It's an orbital space lab. They have lost all life support. So we have to get replacement equipment out there. 2. Admiral Hallwine's daughter and grandson are there. So you know what that means. Lastly, 3. You'll have to skirt restricted space to get there as quickly as possible.
Restricted how?
The Starship Endeavour had a run-in with an early warp civilization known as the Odobinos. There nearly 20 years ago. No one got hurt, but they made it very clear to Captain Houston they don't trust anyone. They want to be left alone. There is a treaty with all the details that I am attaching to this communication stream.
No word since?
Not officially. We hear that they're growing more concerned about the Klingons than the Federation, so there might be an opening. Look, we don't think they'll be much of a military ally, but we hear they might have the lithium to trade. So get the equipment delivered quickly. But don't create an incident that will close the door on future cooperation. Got it?
Yes, sir. When will the equipment be loaded?
Already done. While you were planetside, Tristan already met up with Demos and transferred the equipment, along with some redundant units. That should get them set for at least a decade. Lieutenant Commander Zakara has all the details. As you know, I hate to waste time.
Understood. We'll be en route as soon as I confirm all personnel will return to ship.
Thanks, Tim. I knew that I could count on you. We will crack that bottle of vintage Kentucky bourbon that you gave me when you get back. That's the least I can do.
Sounds simple enough. Which means it won't be. Lieutenant Taylor, set course for Space Lab Pavona 3.
Ich muss ganz ehrlich sagen, die Jacke finde ich sogar viel geiler als die Monster Maroon Uniform. Ich meine, es ist ein Eigendesign, das wissen wir, das weiß ich, aber ey, hallo. Monster Maroon angedeutet durch den weißen Streifen hier über die Schulter, hier den Gürtel, absolut cool, also kann man sich nicht beschweren.
And be sure to keep us well outside
Alles gemacht, was man machen muss.
Restricted zone. Miss Tennis, warp factor 8.
Aye, aye, Captain.
We're not showing the boundaries of any zone, Captain.
You'll need to secure the Otovinos Accord from Mr. Warren and update the ship's star catalog to show the new exclusion zone.
Aye, sir. Done. Plotting course of 132 Mark 568. We'll stay clear and reach the science station without undue delay.
Sounds good. Thank you, gentlemen. I'll be Commander Zakara.
Captain, Lieutenant Moore and I have inspected the life support equipment for the science station, and it's not in good shape.
It's nowhere near ready to actually install.
All of that was supposed to be brand new. Did somebody pull a switch?
No, sir. Technically, it is still mint in box, but apparently it has been in storage for over 4 decades. I'm concerned that it may not even be compatible with the station's power supply and EPS conduit systems.
We can make it work, but we need to pull it apart and overhaul it before we arrive so we can install it right away.
Good catch. Have your people work on it around the clock. I want that equipment updated and ready to go by the moment we arrive.
Yes, sir. My thoughts exactly.
All off-duty engineering team members have been volunteered, and they are working on it as we speak.
Have been volunteered.
I believe I made myself clear, Captain. I even put your command trainee on supervising the engineers and technicians.
Indeed. Carry on.
Captain, Mr. Shepard Calhoun and I have been reading the treaty agreement with Otovinos.
It is, well, let's say a little unusual.
How so?
Well, for example, if we ever come face to face with them in any sort of confrontation, raising shields or charging weapons is considered an act of war.
Based on their technology assessment from 20 years ago, it shouldn't be a problem.
Nur um es mal denen zu erklären, die es nicht wissen. Rot ist bei denen auch Kommandoebene. Gelb ist Ingenieurskorps sozusagen, zu großen Teilen. Blau sind die Wissenschaftler und schwarz ist bei denen die Sicherheit oder das Militär. So genau weiß ich es nicht, aber das sind meistens die mit den Waffen.
But still, that is unusual. We probably won't see them anyway, but just to play it safe, I want a full sensor scan into the restricted area to make sure we aren't surprised.
And that's another thing. Active sensor sweeps are prohibited too. Although, as I read it, as not exactly an active war. But I think that Otovinos could consider it an active war if they were so inclined.
You are ever the optimist, Commander.
Someone has to be.
Okay, well, then let's use sensors in passive mode to see what we can see without stirring the pot. Mr. Warren, monitor all subspace communications from the system as well.
Aye, sir. I haven't heard anything on standard channels, but I'll.
Captain, collision alert.
Dead ahead.
Impact imminent.
Security, damage report. Tactical, what was that?
I can't be positive, but I think we struck some sort of gravitic space mine. Without active sensors, there's not much to go on. By the time passive sensors picked it up, it had already fired its rockets to intercept and collide with us.
Hell, full stop. Communications, Hell Starbase 211.
All decks reporting damage, Captain. Casualties are alike.
We're stopped. We're dead in the water. Neither helm nor engines are responding.
I with your permission, Captain, I'd like to try and go down to auxiliary control and see what I can do from there.
Very well. Mr. Warren, did you get that message out?
Yes, sir. No reply was given.
Sick bay to bridge.
Harper here.
Captain, we have quite a few injuries coming in. Mostly banged up from the sudden stop. No reports of any fatalities yet, for which we're all grateful. Most of our equipment is down. The power keeps going on and off.
Thanks, Doc. Commander Zakar and Lieutenant Moore are working on it. Keep us posted. Bridge out. Continue.
Looks like we hit something rather substantial. The collision took out EPS conduits 1 and 2 entirely.
Are you okay?
Yes. I just hit my face on the console.
Structural integrity on Deck 6 is highly suspect. We're seeing a drop in atmosphere there, so we're venting somewhere.
Bridge is Security Chief Shepard.
Aye, Shepard here, Captain.
I need you and your teams to see that Deck 6 is evacuated.
Already on it, sir.
Kane, if it becomes necessary,
I
seal it off.
understand, sir. I'll let you know what we find out. Shepard out.
Continue.
The main reactor shut down when all that power had nowhere to go. Warp and impulse engines are offline as well.
We're working to reset EPS relays in Conduit 3 so we can route emergency power and get life support back online.
Any estimates when or if life support will be back online?
Life support should be back in the next few minutes, assuming there is no further damage and the EPS relays reset properly.
I've also got a team working on getting ready to restart the main fusion reactor. Once we get that going, we will be a bit more stable.
What about Deck 6?
Teams are on the way there with portable force fields to reinforce it and seal off any leaks.
We're being held on screen, Lieutenant. I'd like to see who I'm dealing with, eye to eye.
Unidentified spacecraft. This is Captain Rosmar of the Otovinos Diarchy. You have violated the exclusion zone. You must leave immediately or we will be forced to take action.
Captain, we most certainly did not violate the exclusion zone. We took every precaution to stay well clear. We are on a
You
vital
most
mission.
certainly did violate the exclusion zone. The Otovinos Accords require all alien vessels to stay at least 1 parsec away from our home world. You are now 0.998 parsecs away.
That is not how the exclusion zone is defined. It is a 2-parsec sphere around Atyp Avonis.
Correct, Captain. That is how it's defined in Section 23 of the Accords.
Okay, then I don't see the issue with our presence here.
Section 24 adds the restriction on approaching our Orc cloud.
Captain, he might have a point.
their ore cloud has slowly drifted toward a passing rogue star. In 20 years, it has moved 8.6 million kilometers, which means we have violated their zone of exclusion.
Captain, some power systems are back on, but much of our life support equipment was damaged by the power surge.
We've got survey teams down there now. It doesn't look good.
Captain, how dare you ignore me? Get that ship of yours out of here now.
Closed channel. Zakara, how long do we have?
A couple of hours at the most. The main reactor's warming up nicely. Maybe half an hour?
Not that it matters if we can't breathe.
Any chance you could use the equipment we have on board for Pavona 3?
Possibly. That's an idea. I'll get some folks on hooking up the new stuff. It's not readily compatible to our systems, but I'm most concerned about the rising CO2 levels. I'll put Solari on it.
Captain, when power came back, I was able to sneak in one sensor suite. They have a large cruiser with 4 small attack craft. 2 of them are on an intercept course. They're way too small and fragile to do much damage. It makes no sense.
Mr. Calhoun, status of shields and phasers.
They show online, but only at 50% power.
Captain, using either would likely overload the single remaining EPS, and it will get really cold and really quick.
I like it cold.
Sir, I've routed the helm through auxiliary control.
Good work, Janice.
Captain, I've been reviewing what little we know about Odavinos, but I think they're trying to engage us in the old Terran game of playing chicken, hoping to intimidate us into raising shields or charging phasers, an act of war in their view. Then we'd really be...
Got it. Time to impact.
First 2 are veering off now. Wait. The other 2 attack ships are inbound now. ETA 20 seconds.
Zakara, I need those impulse engines. Janice, ideas.
Firing maneuvering thrusters, sir.
Good thinking. Zakara?
Sorry, Captain. When I say 25 minutes...
Damn it! This ship needs to move!
The other 2 attack craft are very, very close.
Captain, they veered off, and at the last second.
I have an idea. Do you think you can get that big bad cruiser to do the same stunt as the little ones?
Why? Oh. Wait. I get it. Lieutenant, open channel.
Channel is open.
You dare to cut me off? I ought to.
What's the meaning of sending those puny escape pods to buzz us? Are those tiny little tin birds supposed to scare us?
I'm warning you, if you don't leave in the next 5 minutes, we will board your ship and take you back to the homeworld for trial and execution. And not just you, but you and your entire crew.
We will leave just as soon as we can, but you shouldn't be making threats you can't back up. Even that trash heap you're in command of is nothing more than a garbage scow in the Federation.
Captain, he's cut the channel.
Ah, hell. Big Boy is headed for us now, along with the first 2 scouts. I hope he is planning to veer off.
Zakara, route all the power you can spare to the tractor beam.
Aye, Captain. I'm ready. I can give you about 62%.
Captain, the tractor beam can either push or pull on the alien craft, but we won't be able to hold our position. Remember Newtonian physics.
Thanks to Commander Zakara, that is exactly what they're planning. It's going to be more than a little tricky. In case Captain Rosemar has completely lost his mind, which I'm sure he has, we're going to use just enough tractor beam to push us apart to make sure we don't collide.
Here he comes.
And he looks pissed off.
Andre, set tractor beam to 20%, and on my mark, give him just a little push. And now.
Engaging tractor beam.
Beam has made contact. Our relative position is changing.
Moving, Captain.
Andre, now I want full power of the tractor beam and pull him hard as he passes. Ready? Now.
It's working, Captain. We're accelerating.
Okay, everybody, hang on. Andre, as he turns back to his side, I want you to cut the tractor beam.
Aye, sir.
Tanis, keep those beam emitters facing the big boy.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Captain, two of the scout ships appear to have collided. One seems operational, but the other is damaged and is venting atmosphere.
Bridge to transporter room 1.
Palmer here.
Chief, I want you to lock on and beam any life form from the damaged scout ship on board.
You got it, Captain.
Bridge to sick bay.
Sick bay here.
Dr. Patrick, I want you and the medical team to get to transporter room 1 and meet any guests and check for injuries.
Got her, sir. Other than a bit shocked, she seems okay. Medical is here now.
You'll be fine, ma'am. Just take it easy.
Great work, everyone. I want that pilot on the bridge as soon as they're able. Mr. Tatham, what's our status relative to Federation space?
I estimate we'll be out of their space in about 3 hours.
Good news, Captain. We found a bunch of lithium hydroxide and the other stuff headed for the science colony. Solari added it to our air filters to absorb some of the carbon dioxide. Says it's a trick from an old Earth Apollo moon mission.
Lieutenant Solari has also gotten the science station life support equipment working at 18%. Enough to keep us alive for a few days while we make repairs.
Best news I've had today. But I thought their equipment wasn't compatible with our power systems.
Oh, they're not. But they are compatible with the shuttlecraft. So we wired them together temporarily.
Captain, Starfleet has acknowledged our distress call. The Starship Caliborn will arrive in about 14 minutes to render assistance if need be.
Not necessary, but it'll be nice to have a backup just in case.
Captain, Rosemar is back on the channel.
On screen, Lieutenant.
Captain, what have you done? My cruiser felt like it hit a small asteroid, and you destroyed one of my scout ships. My daughter is dead.
You insisted we move, so we did what we deemed necessary to do so. On the bright side, we were able to beam your daughter over just before her scout ship imploded after colliding with your other scout ship.
You have my daughter? See, I knew you were no better than the Klingons. I suppose you're going to hold her hostage until...
Captain, we rescued your daughter, and she seems fine. As soon as our ship's doctor checks her out, she will join us here on the bridge.
So you can put a weapon to her head and make your demands like the Klingons.
Hardly. Starfleet and the Federation do not take hostages. No demands. You may send a scout shuttle over at your convenience, or we can beam her over as soon as it is safe to do so.
I don't know what to say.
You're lucky there was a Federation ship that your mind hit. Anyone else, then your entire planet would be at war now.
Yes, I told Father we didn't need the mines this far out. Only sensors, but he's very stubborn.
I understand. The Federation has a few leaders with strong wills and narrow minds.
Is your captain one of them?
No. He's different. He strongly believes in diplomacy and peace whenever possible. I think you'll like him.
Well, he could have let me die, but he didn't.
Exactly.
How about thank you? Perhaps in hostilities against this vessel?
Morris, are you unharmed?
Completely, Father. You should see this ship. It's so miraculous. And the people on board, they're so different from us, even from each other. Kind, Father. They're so kind.
We appear to have misjudged you, Captain.
Look, I know we failed to properly identify the new coordinates to the restricted zone. Our mistake. Mea culpa. But dropping gravitic mines in this airspace is totally irresponsible and completely unacceptable. You could have started a war with not just the Klingons, but the Orions, the Gorn, the Rhymons, the Tholians, hell, even Zint. Is that something your homeworld can afford to do?
Perhaps, after I file my report, our diplomats might have more to discuss than has been previously considered. We just wanted to be left alone. That may have been a lack of foresight on our part. Thank you, Captain. I'd like to take my daughter home.
Mr. Calhoun, you have the con.
Aye, Captain.
Personal log supplemental. It has been 13 hours since our engagement with the Odobinos. Thankfully, no one was seriously injured, and the damage to Deck 6 was far less serious than we first thought. After making repairs with materiel and assistance from the engineering crew of the Caliborn, we are resuming our course for Space Lab, Pavona 3. Hopefully, the Odobinos people will see us in a new light and begin a new friendship. Perhaps it's time for their isolationism to end.
Also man könnte sagen, ja, nur noch der Abspann. Man könnte sagen, eine astreine Star Trek Geschichte. Ein Volk, was allein bleiben will, Minen auslegt und damit wahrscheinlich einen Krieg anfängt, fängt ausgerechnet ein Sternflottenschiff. Ja, man kann sagen, hier hat man sich echt in den Schwanz gebissen, aber wer interessiert's? Ist doch absolut egal. Also gucken wir mal, was wir sonst noch so finden. Da wollen wir nicht hin. Wir wollen hier beim... Das war jetzt Slingshots, Night Shift. Ich kann mich daran nicht erinnern. Ich glaube, ich habe ihn schon gesehen, aber wir gucken einfach mal. Ne? Also einmal auf YouTube sehen. Bevor ich dich jetzt starte, schalten wir erstmal. Oh, der ist in 4K. Was ist denn hier los? Ah, den haben wir schon gesehen, aber ich kann mich nicht erinnern. Also gucken wir uns nochmal. So, Night Shift, Star Trek Fan Production. Auch wieder von Potemkin. Die sind mit... Entschuldigung, nicht dazwischen quatschen. Die sind mit einigen dabei. Also, ne?
Stormy night.
Ja, und noch eins. Die haben mehrere Schiffe, oft von denen die auch Storys erzählen. Das eine war jetzt gerade die Deimos, auf der sie gerade waren. Und ich weiß nicht, ob das jetzt eins der anderen ist. Ich weiß auf jeden Fall, dass die mehrere haben.
Minor damage to sensors and communication.
Damage to engine 4. We're venting plasma.
Maintain course and speed. And no more bad pros, Miss Anaya.
Yes, Captain. How in the universe did I know?
Nein, die läuft nicht flüssig ab.
So you see, Captain, Intergalactic News Services is committed to this article. We were there when the Enterprise B encountered the Nexus, you know. We want to do an article on a day in the life of the bridge crew of a delivery ship.
The Starship Tristan is not a delivery ship. It is a Constellation-class starship, commissioned in 2284. This class starship served Starfleet in the exploration of deep space, but also scientific research. And yes, even the transportation of goods, personnel to colony planets and outlying systems. And you may quote me on that.
I didn't mean any offense, Captain.
I'm sure you didn't.
May I see the bridge?
Of course. This way, please. This bridge module is relatively new to Starfleet and somewhat experimental. The Tristan was attacked by Orion brigands 8 months ago. The ship was almost decommissioned, but Starfleet operations wanted us to use it as a platform for new design work. It's safe to say that there are many Constellation-class ships in Starfleet, but none are like this one.
That was the attack where your first officer, Chief Engineer Mycroft, was killed, wasn't it?
Along with 78 others.
Oh, of course, how thoughtless.
Ship status, Commander Johnson?
Current course is for Gamma Chi Orients. Arrival time is going to be 1600 tomorrow. Current speed, warp factor 4.
Alright, so now what?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Hopefully nothing.
Isn't that terribly boring?
We prefer the term challenging.
The greatest misconception about Starflight is that something exciting is always happening.
And it's simply not terribly exciting most of the time.
Honestly, we prefer it that way.
We've been jinxed. Long-range scanners are picking up an unidentified warp signature.
Now picking up a distress signal from that vessel.
What does all that mean?
It means someone out there presumably needs our help, and it's our job to provide that help. Set and intercept course, Miss Glacian. Miss Anaya, increase speed to warp factor 6. Lieutenant Catane, report.
The ship is of unknown origin and design.
No response to our hail, Captain.
Commander, yellow alert.
Yes, Captain.
Mr. Hoffman, raise screens and shields, charge phasers, arm and load torpedoes.
Defensive systems online. All weapons at the ready.
Any response yet, Mr. Farron?
Negative. Still picking up a distress signal from that vessel.
Captain, shall I target the vessel?
Not yet, Commander. Let's not be provocative. We're here to help.
Captain, they're energizing weapons. Targeting us.
Why are they firing on us? Farron, tell them simply, we are here to help.
Captain, that last volley took our shields down to 80%.
We've got glass damage on decks 5, 6, and 8. Force fields are in place. Injuries are light.
No reply, Captain. But the distress signal continues.
That doesn't make any sense. Why aren't we defending ourselves?
We have a duty, an obligation to help ships in distress, without knowing why we're being fired upon, and with an active distress signal. I will not engage in combat with that vessel. I cannot make that any more clear to you, Ms. Rappaport. Could they have perceived our charging weapons as an attack, rather than a defensive maneuver? Did we instigate this attack?
Not as far as I can tell. I did not target their vessel with any of our weapons. Shields are down to 58%. Shall I return fire?
Not yet, Commander.
Perhaps their sensors aren't able to detect the difference between an armed defensive attack posture and an attack.
Captain, we're receiving a message.
Finally! On screen.
Audio only, Captain. Running it through the Universal Translator. The ship's Universal Translator cannot identify or translate it. It shows no similarities to any known language or construct. There is no frame of commonality.
Shields down to 37%.
Shields down. Lass mal.
Engine 4 is offline. Engine 2 is now venting plasma.
Doctor to the bridge.
Captain, shields are down to 14%. One more hit.
Captain, we're out of options.
Agreed, Lexi. We have to consider the lives and safety of our crew. Target their weapons and engines. Fire to disable them.
Phasers ready.
Fire!
What the fuck?
Mr. Hoffman?
Target destroyed. Their weapon systems and engines both overloaded. I'm sorry, Captain. Damn.
We may never know the reason for the distress call.
Or whether or not we could have somehow avoided destroying an unknown vessel. Privat here.
Captain, I'm sorry to report this, but Commander Burroughs is dead.
Understood. Thank you. I'm sure you did all you could.
Stimmt ja, es wird ja nie gezeigt bei Star Trek. Jedes Star Trek-Schiff hat diese kleinen Dinger dabei zur Reparaturzwecken. Sogar die Voyager hätte welche gehabt. Oder hat welche gehabt.
32 minor, 14 critical, 1 fatality.
Caused by the power surge on the bridge's engineering station.
Ich finde es cool, dass sie das als Zwischenstufe gesucht haben. Die Betten sehen fast so aus wie auf der Enterprise D. Die Monitore über dem Kopfstück haben so ein bisschen noch Classic-Vibes.
This is the inherent danger in serving in Starfleet. Any encounter, be it with a natural phenomenon, or an alien civilization, or even a Federation colony, entails.
Das, was sie auf dem Kopf hat mit dem blauen Ding, das blaue Ding ist einfach nur eine Taschenlampe. Und das andere ist ein Headset. Ich muss mal ganz ehrlich sagen, also mit einem, ich glaube, es ist ein Haargummi, aber ich bin mir jetzt gerade nicht sicher. Ey, das nenne ich mal Einfallsreichtum. Also da kann man mal sehen, man kann alles zu der Requisite umbasteln.
A certain degree of risk.
Es ist also alles möglich, was geht.
Every day of Admiral Kirk's lecture to my Starfleet Academy class. Risk is our business.
So why do we risk it? Why do you risk it?
Because the inherent rewards of risk far outweigh the potential losses. Today, we responded to a distress call from an unknown race. We tried to reach out to them. We wanted to help them. But we couldn't communicate with them, and they couldn't communicate with us. At one point, final point, I had to make a decision whether to lose more lives of the crew I am sworn to protect or to forego making contact. I ordered Tristan to return fire, targeting their weapons and engines only, and the unknown was destroyed. That saddens me, almost beyond words. We failed today, and we have to do better. We must.
Care to join me, Captain?
I don't drink. You know that.
You're also not one for dining on ashes either, Captain.
If this is a bad time.
It is, but have a seat. So, are you here to reassure me, Doctor?
Wouldn't dream of it, Captain. I'm just here to remind you that you did what you came to do.
While trying to help people who were trying to destroy us, I destroyed an unknown ship and its crew, and at quite some cost to our ship and its crew.
Some choices are neither good nor bad.
Vulcan philosophy?
Hardly. They're all about making the logical choices and excuses.
Let me make this clear. My actions today were the result of the duty and obligation a captain has to their crew and their vessel. I admit that, but I regret it.
Tell me about Chief Engineer Burrow.
That's out of...
John Burroughs was a family man. He and his wife have a residence on Centaurus. They have 3 beautiful little girls. He graduated from the Centaurus Institute of Technology with a degree in warp engineering. He was a devoutly religious man, an honest man. He loved what he did for Starfleet. He was a blessing to his ship, his crew, his friends, and his family. He will be missed by each and every one of us. And now, if you'll excuse me, Miss Rappaport. Doctor, we have a ship to repair, a mission to complete, reports to be filed, and duties to perform. Let's get at it.
So, Entschuldigung, musst du da gerade bei jemandem antworten? Das war eigentlich auch so eine ganz typische Star Trek-Geschichte hier. Also mit, wie handelt man richtig? Es ist wie im richtigen Leben, man kann es nicht sagen. Es ist halt so. Entweder die Scheiße funktioniert oder die Scheiße funktioniert nicht. In dem Fall ist dir die Scheiße um die Ohren geflogen, um bei dem Begriff mal zu bleiben. Das war jetzt ein bisschen wie Scheiße, ich weiß. Nein, aber hättest du dich kaputt schießen lassen sollen, hättest du die Waffen vielleicht deaktivieren sollen, hättest du früher schießen sollen. Man kann es nicht sagen. Ja, es ist einfach passiert und da braucht man dann auch nicht drüber nachzudenken, wie die Nummer dann ausgegangen wäre, wenn man es geändert hätte, aber ui, Entschuldigung. Das ist halt so. Man weiß es nicht. Und Zeitreisen können wir alle noch nicht, deswegen können sie das noch nicht wissen. Das ist also, was soll der Blödsinn, ne? Brauchen wir nicht drüber nachzudenken. Quatsch. So, jetzt machen wir hier mal The Polyphemus Program. Auch wieder von Potemkin. Die sind aber gut dabei. Und wieder ein anderes Schiff. Allerdings, den Captain sollten wir kennen, wenn ich das gerade richtig schon gesehen habe. Den habe ich auch noch nicht gesehen hier. Es ist ja Halleluja. Da wollen wir direkt mal hier. Nee, Moment, das war verkehrt. Da soll's. Moment, erstmal entfernen wieder. Gott im Himmel, dieses. Da sollst du rein, genau. Was ist denn hier Phase? Ach, der hatte YouTube nicht richtig geladen. Ja, passiert schon mal. haben nicht nur ihren eigenen Look bei ihren Uniformen und so und im Raumschiff drin, sondern auch ihre Raumschiff-Designs sind anders. Also ich meine jetzt nicht von den Innenräumen, da sowieso, aber von außen. Müsst ihr mal drauf achten, wenn ihr die seht am Anfang und am Ende. Die sehen immer ein bisschen anders aus, wie die man von der Sternenflotte kennt. Alter. Das ist unfair über Kopfhörer. Okay. Jetzt fühle ich mich wie bei Raumpatrouille.
Gregory? Are you Gregory? Gregory? Why will you not repair the damage, Gregory? Gregory?
Let her win. Let her win.
That's my girl.
Gregory?
No. Not them two.
Gregory?
Also bisher verstehe ich nur Bahnhof. Davon aber jede Menge.
Why will you not repair the damage, Gregory? 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 Gregory?
No, please.
Why will you not repair the damage, Gregory?
My name is not Gregory!
Captain on the bridge.
When we finally found his yacht, drifting near the Millikan system, he had no memory of me, of his family, of most of the things in his life. Just this damn machine world. And the name Grigory.
Something I did, I'm sure.
You said you were downloaded into the thing.
Hardly conclusive. Lieutenant Commander Tenoshi merged with the machine entity twice. The captain only.
Tenoshi's propensity for performing mind melds always alarms me.
But why ask for me alone?
Besides, Tenoshi returning to Vulcan for Pon Farr? Guys, shouldn't we report our theories to Admiral Allwine? Or Walker? Or Hunter? He's a no friend of yours, isn't he? No, no. Doc.
Doctor.
Tassab, a little help here. Oh, I hate Vulcans. And doctors.
Cooper.
Alec, we're not going.
Navigator, set course for star system R61.
Aye, Captain.
Helm, warp factor 7.
Das ist auch erstaunlich, wie viele Monitore die da benutzt haben. Sehr schön.
First Officer's Log. Stardate 00822.7. It already knows we're here. It's been attempting to interface with the ship's computer.
See you on the flip, Coop. Energize.
Where did they go?
The security team has not materialized.
Grigory to Potemkin. Grigory to Potemkin.
To solve to Potemkin.
Which is Grigory?
Grigory.
Grigory.
Gregory?
Why aren't both units called Grigory?
Quiet, I will speak. Grigory.
That one is unnecessary.
Redundant. Grigory.
Grigory.
Reintegrate our operational parameters.
Still no response, Commander. It's odd. It seems there are thousands of machine entities attempting to interfere with the Potemkin's computer systems, all at once. Our safeguards are secure, of course.
Who's in charge down there?
Oh, indeed, Doc. Doctor.
So, when are you going to fix my control panel?
I already told you the parts won't arrive until Tuesday.
Maintaining orbit, Commander.
Altitude 35,000 kilometers.
Fix me.
Fix us. Fix us. Fix us.
I've done nothing to you. Perez was dying. You downloaded him. Tenoshi and I followed you.
We wished to consume. I wished.
We wished
to consume and repair that machine. Show me your data.
Buy me dinner first.
So I see. Do you have any plans for the evening, handsome?
Absolutely. I'm spending the evening with my wife. Your place or mine.
Even in the worst of circumstances, when I see her, I know life will go on. Changed forever, but somehow strengthened too. No! Stop! Damn you!
Alec, you took my means of cleansing my world when you took back your weapon. Look, what I have done. Beautiful, isn't it, Alec?
I came for Tenoshi's Idik.
Thought I'd keep it. A pleasant reminder of a lovely child. Terrible thing, this prime directive. You want nothing more at this moment than to interfere. You're not right, Alec. Tell Tenoshi I will think of her often, whenever I look upon my success. A success brought about with her help, even if it was unintended. Live long and prosper, Alec.
Peace and long life.
You terminated its programming.
Its life.
Murderer. Murderer. Murderer.
Not a program you will ever need again.
No. It was flawed.
Good morning, cadets.
Good morning, sir!
I've always heard that the first step to becoming a good commanding officer is to have a loud voice, so you're well on your way. Rene Descartes walks into a bar. Bartender says, "You want a beer?" He says, "I think not." And then he disappeared. Tough crowd. My students. The best part of my life. I served with so many of them. Some still serve. Tessa?
Fix me.
Where's Tessa?
Fix us. And you may go.
I can't.
Very well. I will strip every program from your mainframe until you repair the damage done to me.
To us.
I wished to consume and repair that machine.
We wished.
Your statement is not logical.
To hell with your logic.
I'll rephrase.
Who turned the lights off? I can't see a damn thing.
I am a Klingon. This is my wife. She cut my throat with a plastic knife.
Tenoshi, you're a girl, and so am I.
You're mistaken. I am not Science Officer Tenoshi. You have made many errors in your calculations.
You will fix us.
Interesting. Were I human enough to make a guess, I'd...
Say that machine is suffering from a bad case of
individuality.
Fix us.
I can't. I don't know how. I don't know who. I don't know. Physician, heal thyself.
What does that mean? Who are you?
Nobody.
Nobody can fix us? Nobody?
Captain, I'm here.
Nobody can fix us.
Come on down, Coop.
Come on down, Coop.
This better work this time.
It better. Energize. What the hell have you done?
We don't know. Physician, heal us.
Heal thyself.
That's what Gregory said. I still don't know what that means. I think it means...
It means goodbye, good luck, and don't open any more attachments. Idiots. Potemkin, we're ready to go home. Energize. Damn it, why did we do this? What has it accomplished? Why don't you ever listen to me? Coop.
Cooper. Sick bay, we've got incoming. We're bringing the captain to sick bay.
Let us get the captain to sick bay.
The patient has stabilized, Dr. Fanning.
Thank you, Dr. Rath.
You didn't think we'd walk into that junked machine shop without making a backup call, did you?
I love doctors. Doctors, not so much.
You're as crazy as Tenoshi. You're gonna give yourself a permanent case of Mirai Nafu's personality drift.
Your thoughts. To your thoughts. Your memories. To your memories. I remember him. That was one hell of a party. I wish I'd been capable of enjoying that. Sir, you didn't. Yep. Coop didn't see that one coming, did he? No. Sorry. Not that. Not him. We'll save those for later.
Captain's log supplemental. Our efforts have only partially succeeded. We have convinced the inhabitants of the machine planet that nobody can fix their problem. It is our fervent hope that somewhere along the line, perhaps the machine race will realize that they must live with this virus. This thing which we call individuality.
Individualität, ja. Sie ist eine Seuche. Was willst du machen? So. Sleeping Dragon, auch wieder von derselben Crew. Was heißt nicht von derselben Crew, aber...
Captain's log, stardate 00783.8. Delos has rendezvoused with the civilian science ship Cadmus at the request of the renowned astrophysicist Sarah Perry. Reason? Unknown. But one does not ignore the request of a woman such as Sarah Perry.
Ach Gott, da vorne!
And this is why I brought you here, gentle beings.
Sagittarius A, the supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy. Radiation and gravitic disturbances are so great as to make it the single most dangerous astrogational hazard known.
Yep.
It is also known by the apt moniker, the Sleeping Dragon.
Why is that?
Because every couple of million years, it spews out a plume of hot gases that destroys life on every habitable planet from 200 to 20,000 light years away.
Are we due for such an outburst?
Unlikely, Captain. Current projections suggest stability for the next 3,000 years.
And under normal circumstances, those projections would be correct.
Normal. And thereby hangs the tale.
And it's quite the tale, Doctor.
Do tell.
Dr. Perry happens to have spent her entire life making this sort of unfounded, unsubstantiated prediction.
And these grandiose plans to stop the end of the galaxy as we know it.
Gentlemen.
It's all right, Captain. I've heard this sort of criticism ever since I began preparing for this type of disaster. And honestly, some of it is fair. But all I ask is that you review my data, my calculations, and above all, the sensor readings from the magnetar.
Magnetar? What magnetar?
Oh, the one that's on a collision course with Sagittarius A. When it hits, it will cause a particle fountain that will literally tear the galaxy apart. All life on all habitable planets will be extinguished.
What the fuck? David A. McKenzie. USS Cleveland. Ich sagen, die haben einen Output, der ist Wahnsinn. Also jedes Jahr, glaube ich, 2 bis 3
Captain's
Stück.
log supplemental. Following the meeting with Dr. Perry, I have ordered the Demos to take our scout ship aboard and proceed at maximum warp to a projected interception point with a magnetar that is on a collision course with the galactic center, 17 hours away. Our course of action? Unclear.
Captain, on the bridge.
Report.
It is exactly as Dr. Perry has reported. The largest magnetar, one beyond all previously measured, is on a direct collision course with Sagittarius A.
I wish I were wrong, Captain. I've spent all my life preparing for just such an event, and yet I find I am totally unprepared.
All right, let's see what you got.
As you can see, the gases are ripped from the magnetar surface, but the mass remains intact as it enters the event horizon. Next, a massive explosion. The event horizon recovers, and the magnetar material erupts out, cutting right through the heart of the Alpha Quadrant.
Won't that take 20,000 years? We should have plenty of time to relocate.
Except that this eruption is focused through a gravitic lens into subspace. Within 5 years, you'll have a total life extinction event for the Alpha Quadrant. The fountain will tumble out of rotation, and within 16 years, the entire galaxy will be totally decimated. No life, no stars, just a morass of ejected material. It'll be an intergalactic dead zone.
All right, all hell breaks loose. So how do we stop?
The Cadmus.
I'm sorry, Dr. Perry, but your scout ship couldn't stop a decent-sized asteroid, let alone a magnetar. The magnetic fields would rip you and your ship into a pile of quarks once you're within a half an AU of it.
Cadmus's screens, shields, and warp drive were retrofitted about 40 years ago during an age when protection, discretion, and speed were required.
When encounters with Romulans, Klingons, Gorn, and Orions were best avoided by civilian vessels?
Precisely. When I realized the dangers presented by the galactic core, I augmented my vessel's key systems. The Cadmus is more than capable of withstanding an encounter with the magnetar for long enough.
Long enough for what?
For whatever's necessary.
Captain,
Sectors Q4, Q5, and Q7, all negative. The magnetic signature was detected in Q6, but does not match the parameters of any known object.
Would require further study, wouldn't you say, Will?
Grandma Sarah?
Gentlemen, Will is my grandson.
Navigator, lock on the object Ensign Perry detected. We must intercept it while we can.
Yes, Captain. Modifying our interception point.
Helm, can you increase...
No, he cannot, sir. Not without disabling the ship before we get near enough to try to stop that thing.
Understood, engineer. Maintain speed.
Aye, sir. Maintaining maximum warp.
Dr. Perry, Duffy, Shepard, to the briefing. Mr. Warren, and Dr. Patrick joins.
Aye, Captain.
Zakira, you have the con. So, getting to the point. Dr. Perry, how do you propose we save the galaxy?
We can't.
We have an obligation to try something, anything.
The laws of physics still apply, even in the center of the galaxy or the heart of a magnetar.
There is one possibility. The Cadmus shields will hold long enough to deliver an antimatter charge to the heart of that magnetar.
And why don't we just unload our entire payload of photon torpedoes into its path?
They would be ripped apart by the gravity of the event horizon of Sagittarius A and the magnetic fields of the magnetar before they could even affect the magnetar. The same holds true for your science ship, Doctor. I'm sorry, but it won't work.
It will work, Mr. Duffy. The Cadmus is more heavily shielded than any ship in Starfleet. It will deal the death blow, so to speak. The Cadmus can deliver the required antimatter payload.
So, we can remotely guide the Cadmus to the target and inject the antimatter payload directly into the magnetar. That's a great plan. I like it. Zakira, prepare the Cadmus
Captain,
for
that
remote
will not
operations.
work. The magnetic radiation from the magnetar interferes with subspace radio. We could not retain control of the Cadmus.
Belay that, Zakira, and stand by. Well, Dr. Perry, what is your plan?
You're not going to suggest that a pilot take the Cadmus on a one-way trip. That's murder.
Suicide, actually, Doctor. I am more than capable of completing this mission.
But can't we just beam you back as you reach the magnetar? Or program a course into the computer to drop off the payload?
No one could survive the transporter process through the magnetic fields, nor would I trust the ship's computers to not have their higher logic functions disrupted.
Well, Dr. Perry, it seems the die has been cast. It would appear that we have no alternative.
We've reached interception point.
The whole behemoth.
Truly is a monster.
Time remaining until the magnetar hits the event horizon.
3 hours, 12 minutes, 14 seconds.
Grandma! Dr. Patrick, report to the bridge.
Captain's log, stardate 00784.2. Deimos is maintaining course and speed. We have a plan, a means of saving the galaxy. And the woman that we need to accomplish that plan is lying in sickbay. Her heart failing.
She's going to need heart replacement surgery immediately. I've got Dr. Ryder programming a cardiac replacement unit, and we'll get started as soon as she's ready.
There's no time. We must destroy the magnetar.
How long will the surgery take, Doc?
About 4 hours, but she's not a young woman. The recovery time will be a few days.
We don't have a few days.
We have 2 hours and 41 minutes.
2 hours and 41 minutes to save the galaxy, Doc. Can you get her on her feet long enough to pilot that ship of hers?
I'm not sure I can keep her conscious for the next 5 minutes, let alone enough to do what's expected of her.
I can do it. My parents were killed in a tragic lab accident when I was a child. My grandma took me in, raised me on the Cadmus. I can pilot that ship in my sleep.
Well, you're a good pilot. Better than me even. But you cannot complete this mission. I must be the one to destroy the Magnetar.
And it sounds like both of us are needed, Grandma.
I won't permit it, Will.
You don't have any other choice the way I see it. Either we go together and save the galaxy, or we don't. And all life will be extinguished.
Captain, you can't be seriously considering allowing these two people to sacrifice their lives.
To save the galaxy? You better believe I would. That's our mission, our duty. If they hadn't volunteered, I would have ordered them to go.
I made my decision, Captain. We need to get moving.
Doctor, please. Give me something. Anything. Just keep me going for another few hours. After that, it won't matter whether we're successful or not.
Cordrazine, 5 cc's. God forgive us.
He might not if they fail. Status report and yellow alert all stations.
Yes, Captain.
Engines are holding steady, Captain. There's some subspace field variance, but we're handling it well enough.
Approaching Galactic Center Navigation Hazard Zone.
Magnetic disturbances, hot gases, gravitational anomalies. It's chaotic in there at best.
And it's only going to get worse. Doesn't it always?
To my knowledge, Science Officer Duffy has never said it's going to get better.
Agreed.
Our weapons officers have finished loading the antimatter bottles onto the Cadmus, Captain. They're sealing the hatches and clearing the flight deck.
Acknowledged.
Captain, Dr. Perry from the Cadmus.
Captain here, Doctor.
We finished our launch preparations, Captain.
Cadmus requests departure clearance, sir.
Permission granted. Godspeed, Cadmus. Time until Cadmus reaches Magnetar.
48 minutes, sir.
Personal log. The Cadmus is en route to its fate, its destiny, its destruction. Deimos is maintaining a parallel course to monitor its mission. If necessary, if the Cadmus fails in its attempt, I am prepared to attempt the same maneuver with the Deimos. We cannot afford to allow the Magnetar to destroy our galaxy.
Shields to maximum. We are being held. It's faint. I'm trying to clear it up.
On screen.
Aye, sir.
Perry to Deimos. Cadmus is still on course. Expected rendezvous with the Magnetar in 11 minutes. Magnetar is highly unstable. It won't take as much antimatter as I had calculated.
Take that as a warning, Captain.
Weapons offline.
Maintain full power to shields.
Maneuvering thrusters non-functional.
Sensors are intermittently offline and unreliable. Higher logic functions are impeded.
Engineer, emergency power. All right, tell me what works.
To be honest, Captain, almost everything is working. But it's the relays between systems. It's as Mr. Duffy says, they're intermittent.
Life support is operating in the forward starboard part of the ship and the aft engineering.
Captain, we have ship-wide communications.
Good. Direct all the crew to move to designated life support areas.
We are receiving a hail from the Cadmus. We still have visual.
On screen. Dr. Perry, what is your status?
Our interception point with the magnetar is 4 minutes from now.
How is the Deimos faring, Captain?
Oh, minor malfunctions throughout the ship. Nothing to be concerned.
The magnetic radiation, no doubt. You must put more distance between the magnetar and the Deimos. And remember, you must pull away at your highest possible speed 15 seconds before contact. You must get out of here and warn Starfleet in case we fail. I have to rest now. Will knows what to do.
Message from the Cadmus, text only. It's time to go now. That's all, sir.
Navigator, get us out of here.
Aye, sir.
Helm, best speed.
Best speed, acknowledged.
We are in extreme sensor range of the black hole and the magnetar.
Mr. Warren, hail the Cadmus. No. Hail the Dragon Slayer.
The professor is responding.
On screen.
Doctors say those things will kill you, Grandma.
I've heard that one before.
In the age of dragons, I will never regret raising the Dragon Slayer.
Sir, we have an energy wave approaching.
Maintain course, shields, and speed. Are we gonna make it?
The energy wave appears to be dissipating. Impact in 6, 5.
All personnel,
4,
brace for impact.
3, 2, 1.
All tags, damage reports.
Next 60 bridge, bulkhead damage report 7. Gravity control switching to batteries. Missouri power status report. Bridge to deck.
Surely this was a good way to die. In the place of everyone else. Some who were loved, some who were unloved, those who were unknown, and those who will never know. Gentlemen, take us home.
Aye, sir.
Sensor beams, full power on the deflectors.
AG section, we're showing only 4.5.
And the entire crew has been touched by the sacrifice of both Doctor and Ensign Perry. Service to be held today in the torpedo room. At 1300, post the honor guard, pallbearer, and piper. At 1330, pass the word, all hands bury the dead, and issue officer's call. And at that point, have the helm neutralize the engines.
I beg your pardon, Captain. It's something I thought you should know.
Go ahead, Commander.
Are you sure?
Yes, Phil. She's a command trainee. If you have something to say, I want her to hear it.
The science department analysis of the magnetar is complete. According to every model we've run, it was about the supernova. It would never have made it to the galactic core. The sacrifice of the Cadmus and the Perrys was unnecessary. Tim, I don't know how to make this easy for you. Those two people died for nothing.
We did not know that at the time.
We did not. It wasn't until we got the telemetry from the Cadmus 11 minutes before detonation.
How long did it take astrophysics to make this determination?
2 days. If only we'd had more time.
But we didn't. We were on a literal deadline. We had to make a decision. You know, there's an old saying, hindsight is 20/20.
What does that mean?
It's an old medical phrase. 20/20 means perfect eyesight.
It means that we can always look back at an event, look at our choices, and see how we could have had a better outcome.
In this case, had we been able to get the analysis sooner from astrophysics, those 2 people would be alive today.
Today, we're symbolically committing the bodies of 2 heroes to space. Were I faced with the same decision today, based on the same information that we had at the time, we would all do the exact same thing. And so would those 2 brave souls. Never forget that.
And the crew?
I have Mr. Duffy's report with the ship's news feed. The crew deserves to know.
Before or after services?
Do it immediately. And I think you'll find it doesn't make a difference to the crew. They all know those people are heroes.
I didn't mean to imply they weren't. Oh, and I know it probably doesn't matter to you, but I think you did the right thing. We had to act on the information that we had at that time.
Thanks, Bill. That means a lot. After the ship's engines are neutralized, it simply will come to attention and the torpedo casings will be lowered onto the launch rail. After launch, the crew will be dismissed and turn about their daily duties.
Der Captain hat immer so Dinger mit, war es richtig, das zu tun? Und das ist okay, aber ich finde es ein bisschen übertrieben bei denen, ne? Dass das immer so bei denen im Vordergrund steht. Und das ist eigentlich auch sehr schade. Puh, also ich glaube, ich habe die ganze Woche noch zu tun, wenn ich mir so durchgucke. What the fuck is going on here? Da kommen sie nochmal, die Potjemkin-Jungs. 2-mal noch. Wow. Aber da sind noch Sachen dabei. 3-mal noch. Moment. Ja, doch. 3-mal. What the fuck, hier sind Sachen dabei. Da würde ich mich verschämen, wenn ich sie selber gemacht hätte. Aber okay. Muss auch dabei sein. Gott, das ist eine Serie hier. Ja, lecker fand. Oder mehrere Folgen. Ja, da wäre auf jeden Fall noch mehr als genug zu gucken. Ja, der Monat ist noch lang, bis da die Sachen entschieden sind. Da könnt ihr ein bisschen gucken und euch dann entscheiden. So, gehen wir mal zurück. Da haben wir eine ganze Menge zu tun. Sleeping Dragon hatten wir jetzt gerade. Jetzt gehen wir zur FS-Film nach Tschechien. Oh, jetzt wird's lustig. Tschechisch, wenn wir haben, deutscher Untertitel, ansonsten englischer. Ne? Also das ist das höchste der Gefühle bei denen. Deutsch werdet ihr da nicht erleben, weil ist nicht. Ist ausverkauft. Was ist denn hier schon wieder Phase? Warum lädst du das nicht richtig? Jetzt 4K haben sie auch gemacht. Das ist ja auch mal was Feines. So, jetzt kommt FS-Film. Aus Tschechien, würde ich sagen. Třetí Varianta. Ich würde wohl sagen, die dritte Variante.
Kapitánův deník, hvězdné datum 5927.66. USS Trondheim byla vyslána prostudovat binární pulzar v systému Zaurak. Podle měření astronomů Federace zde má dojít k souběžným erupcím z obou hvězd, které při srážce vytvoří takzvaný Kristoforetin vějíř. Tento vzácný fenomén známe zatím jen v teoretické rovině, protože k němu statisticky dochází pouze jednou za 100 000
so ein bisschen an Lower Decks angelehnt. Kann Lower Decks nichts abgewinnen, aber jeder wie er mag.
Směna Alfa se hlásí do služby, kapitáne.
Alter, die Augenbrauen.
Kde je poručík Garfield?
Und sein Bart, der ist ja...
Na ošetřovně. Skřípl si ocas v turbovýtahu.
Vždycky v pondělí.
Bude tu za pár minut. Mám zavolat náhradu?
Není třeba. Autonomní kormidlo pracuje na jedničku.
Die ist noch bei meinem Liebling dabei gewesen. Apropos, ich wollte Untertitel machen.
Kapitáne, je čas. Podle údajů senzorů dojde k erupci za 70 vteřin.
Und suchen uns mal Deutsch raus.
Děkuji, poručíku Otárie. Skenery na maximum.
Rozkaz. Snímání stabilní. Vzdálenost 50 000 kilometrů.
Pane, doporučuji stáhnout se alespoň na 100 000. Vějíř může vyvolat silný E-impuls. Naše systémy...
Jsou dostatečně chráněné štíty. Jen klid, komandére. Tuhle příležitost nesmíme propást. Vše je potřeba důkladně zaznamenat.
30 vteřin.
Aarone, víte, že jsem vaše rozhodnutí nikdy nezpochybnila. Vážně, ani jednou. Ale tentokrát...
Ještě 20 vteřin.
Erin, co se děje? Ještě jsem vás neviděl takhle nervózní. Tohle je unikátní příležitost. Píšeme tu dějiny astronomie. Tak se v klidu posaďte a vychutnávejte kouzlo okamžiku.
8 sekund, kapitáne. 5, 4 a je to tady.
Hlášení?
E-impuls vyřadil většinu systémů, včetně jištění. Magnetické pole kolem antihmoty se hroutí. Nemůžu nic dělat.
Nouzový postup. Vystřelte warp jádro.
Zkouším to. Bez účinků. Počítač jako by se zbláznil. Tohle nikdo nedá včas dohromady. Skončíme rozptýlení po okolních soustavách.
Centrální program je opět pod kontrolou. Zapínám obnovu magnetického pole.
Komandére, pozor! Detekuji silný výboj energie za vaší stanicí.
Už jen pár algoritmů. Hotovo.
Erin, jste v pořádku? Co se to...
Žádný puls, žádné dýchání. Nechápu.
Reboot dokončen. Zkrat bez trvalých následků. Deaktivace trvala 12,3 vteřiny.
Komandére Lontro?
Je mi líto, že jste to zjistil takhle, Aarone. Můžeme si promluvit v soukromí?
Ale jistě. Poručíku Otárie. Co to děláte?
No, já myslela, jestli tam někdo...
Měl jsem na mysli, že můstek je váš. Komandére, do mé pracovny.
A tak, promiňte, pane. Jistě.
Takže jste robot nasazený, aby nás pozoroval?
Dávám přednost označení automaton, tak si říkáme. Vás to nepřekvapuje?
Cestujeme rychleji než světlo, naše těla rozkládáme na energii a zpět. Proč by mělo tohle? Tedy trochu zvědavý jsem.
Nemáte obavy, že si chceme potropit lidstvo?
Chcete?
Ne.
Logicky, proč taky? Lidé jsou jen banda opic a Země díra na kraj galaxie, no ne?
Konečně někdo. A teď ráda vám vše vysvětlím. Náš svět, planeta A, existuje skoro od počátku vesmíru, stejně jako naše digitální civilizace. V přestrojení studujeme organické formy života. Proto jsem vstoupila do flotily a následně jsem na USS Trondheim. A musím připustit, sledovat vás bylo fascinující.
Trošku strašidelné, ale lichotivé.
Každopádně s tím je konec. Vidím 2 varianty. Ohlásíte mě velení flotily, nebo mi dopřejete možnost v tichosti odejít.
Jak velmi binární od vás. Ale já myslím, že vidím i 3. variantu. Tu nejjasnější.
Opravdu? Zajímavé. Takže co bude dál?
Nic. Co by bylo?
Nerozumím.
Pokračujeme v naší misi přece.
Počkejte, vám nevadí...
Hele, vulkánci jsou špičatí, Andoriani modří, Orionky zelené. No a vy jste mechanická. To je toho.
Tak tady jste mě dostal.
Podívejte, máme vás loajální zástupkyni 2 roky. Dnes jste zachránila loď a mě život aspoň 4krát.
3krát, to záležitost krávnou bolie se nepočítá, jen byste přišel o prsty.
Já mám své prsty rád. Chci říct, bude mi ctí, když zůstanete a vše necháme, jak to je.
Díky, Aarone, jste skutečně výjimečný.
Takže jsme dohodnuti, jedničko?
Ano, jsme.
Výborně. Teď běžte, zkontrolujte loď a připravte mi zprávu o pulzaru. Za hodinu ji chci mít na stole.
Rozkaz, kapitáne.
Prostě další den ve flotile.
Weiterer Tag in der Sternenflotte. Wir haben kurze Filme, aber dafür sehr gut. Also, FS-Film. Abchecken. 3. Variante. Wie man gehört hat, wirklich die 3. Variante. So. Ich würde sagen, das ist nochmal FS-Film. Steht zumindest da. Sweet Oblivion. Der sagt mir jetzt persönlich nicht. Seit wann bist du auf Dingens? Ich dachte, ich hätte alle eure Filme gesehen. Naja, YouTube lässt sich heute aber auch wieder bitten, ne? Lade doch erstmal deine Oberfläche richtig, dann können wir hier nochmal drüber reden. Ich glaube nicht mehr. So, den kenne ich tatsächlich, glaube ich auch schon, aber das ist egal. 5 Monate, ja, okay. Ach, ich weiß, welcher das ist. Aha, der wird lustig. Nee, doch nicht das. Ach, komm doch her. Wenn dann machen wir doch auch amtliche Empfehler.
Deník Kristýny Kolbenové, hvězdné datum 59064.54. Jsem si jistá, že moje teorie o galaktické bariéře změní naše vnímání vesmíru. A jelikož flotila stále váhá s provedením průzkumu, rozhodla jsem se vzít věci do vlastních rukou. Únos, totiž zapůjčení USS Trnava, mé domovské lodi, není malá výzva. Ale s pomocí přátel jde všechno.
Bezstrojovně všechno připravený.
Centrální automat je zapojený. Přesměrování na můstek. Taky? No. Takže teď už jenom stačí velicí kódy a můžeme tuhle párty rozjet. Alvine, jsi na řadě.
Já pořád nevím, Kristýno. Nelíbí se mi, jak je to neautorizované.
Ale no tak Alvine, Segra říkala, že to pro ní máš udělat.
Ona o mě vážně mluvila.
No jo. A dokonce jsem zaslechla, jak říká mámě, jaká je škoda, že jí nevoláš častěji.
No, tak teda. Počítači, aktivuj všechny systémy. Autorizace poručík Alvin Fokker, Sigma 7, Bravo 3.
Navigace, motory, podpora života, všechno běží. Mortyši, jo? Je to celý tvoje.
Trysky aktivní, kotevní paprsky uvolněný. Držte se, odlétám. Zvládli jsme to. Za chvilku jsme u galaktický bariéry.
Jste si jisté, že nás nebudou chtít zastavit? Flotila vidí nerada, když někdo bere hvězdné lodi během údržby na procházku.
Klídek. Posádka má dovolenou. Válí si šunky někde na rajze. Technici, ty mají dorazit až zítra. Toalítka v doku. Jo, řekněme, že je poněkud zaneprázdněná.
Co jste jim provedli?
Neboj, jsou v pořádku.
Víc než v pořádku. Dělají jim společnost moje kamarádky z dětství.
Nechci, aby z toho měl někdo problémy.
Věř mi. Thea a Vea se postarají, aby jim ten čas za případné problémy stál. Navíc, bez tak tu loď za pár hodin vrátíme, ne? Koukněte, už jsme tady. Vystupuju z warpu.
Zahajuji snímání hambionových částic. Teď dokážu svou pravdu.
Jakože v bariéře je zaklíčovaný vzkaz od stvořitelů vesmíru?
Ale je to tak. A kapitán byl blázen, když mi nevěřil.
Po tom fiasku se systémem Bulanus? Kdo by se mu divil?
Cože? To nebylo fiasko. Můj průzkum se potvrdil.
Promiň, ale hlásila se výskyt inteligentního života. 2 měsíce cesty a jediný, co jsme našli, byl bláznivý polštář, co se teleportuje a brouká a když na ní sáhneš, tak svítí. Smála se nám celá flotila.
Dobře. Uznávám, že tam to mi tak úplně nevyšlo, ale tohleto mi vyjde. A počkejte, je tam zpráva. Dekoduju.
Jako fakt? Ukaž.
Předávám na hlavní obrazovku.
Pozor, elektrický ohradník. Výběh Mléčná dráha. Nejinteligentnější obyvatele, člunozobci. Výpis dalších druhů podle IQ vyzní, že... To je nějaký tvůj for?
Kežby?
Jestli jsi to dešifrovala správně.
Počkej, jak jako?
Víš, co by to z nás dělalo? Z nás všech? A co ten výpis níže? Na jakém místě jsou humanoidi?
No, nebude se vám to líbit.
Tak to vyklop.
287.
Vypadneme odsud.
Dobrý nápad. Nic proti, Kristýno, ale byl bych raději nic nezjistil. A myslím, že poznávání vesmíru mi stačí jednou provždy.
No, věř mi, mně taky. Aspoň na půl století.
Rozhodně. Až vrátíme tuhle kocápku do doku, končím. Asi se připojím k rodinnému obchodu.
Jo? Co prodáváte?
Cukr.
Cukr?
Pšt. Kdo ví, co loď nahrává?
Počkej. Nevěděla jsem, že obchod s cukrem je nelegální.
No právě, že není. Proto to děláme tajně a zvědavcům tvrdíme, že je to jen krycí operace. Jinak by se nám ostatní orionský klany jenom smáli. Pokud jde o veřejnost, pašujeme bílý prášek a to je všechno.
Dneska už mě nic nepřekvapí.
Vždycky jsem si chtěla otevřít cukrárnu na vulkánu. Hele, nechtěl byste do toho jít se mnou?
Cukrář Alvin Fokker. Líbilo by se to Karolíně.
Jo? Moje sestřička mlsá ráda. No já? Já nejsem o moc pozadu. Takže se mnou můžeš počítat taky, Mortyši, jo? No a máš už proto nějaký název?
Ještě ne, ale to má čas.
Já bych možná věděla. Co takhle sladké nevědomí.
To beru. Tak, přátelé, letíme domů.
Ja. Viel Rede, viel Story und immer schön kurz. Also 10 Minuten ist bei denen so das Limit. Ja, das trifft sich ja gut. Wenn wir direkt noch Deception 3 gucken. Müsste eigentlich ausgehen von der Zeit. Ich muss ja morgen arbeiten, ne? Also. Ja, what the fuck, auch nur 15 Minuten. Also Deception 3. Der hat auch ziemlich viele Nominierungen und ist wohl auch einer der Topseller sozusagen. Schauen wir mal, was er uns notiert. Wir sind im klingonischen Hohen Rat.
Kutia, Biligutato, Ugampalagot, Bish, Ugamo, Gio. Zasagobea, Jojobeja, Besha Gole Kui, Balagoe, Balakatoi, Io, Bo, Piashu Baja, Pialagodore. Suraniis.
Starfleet intelligence believe there are 6 Klingons dead, 12 more critically injured, and a large portion of the council chamber devastated in the blast. Calming the Klingons down in these negotiations will require considerable effort.
It sounds like you've got a hard job ahead of you, Ambassador. I don't envy you.
Indeed, the Klingons are very angry.
When are the Klingons not angry? Do they still believe it was the Federation that orchestrated the attack?
Unfortunately, yes. Evidence at the scene shows traces of Starfleet equipment, so despite the Federation denying such an attack, the Klingons are blaming us.
Well, the Longshanks is here to aid you in whatever way we can to help keep the peace.
Thank you, Captain. I appreciate the help.
Bridge to Captain. We're approaching the designated neutral site, Starbase 12. The Klingon vessel and their envoy has already arrived.
Thank you, Commander. I'll be assigning one of my security officers to your protection throughout these talks, Ambassador.
That is unnecessary. I am quite capable of handling the Klingons myself.
Think of it more as a precaution. Captain Miller?
Yes, ma'am?
Could you escort the Ambassador to Transporter Room 2?
Yes, ma'am. If you'd like to follow me, Ambassador.
You lied with the amount compensation for this Federation blatant and dishonorable attack on our capital!
Ambassador, as we've mentioned time and time again, the Federation have no involvement.
Ah, we know what your plot is. Your Federation has constantly been undermining the Klingon Empire since we signed the Chemical Accord.
Ambassador, I can assure you there is no conspiracy against the Klingon Empire. We are all friends here.
Friends? You are nothing but puppet strings being held by Federation allies. You should know your place.
Ambassador, we should end this here and come back to this discussion in the morning.
A recess would be acceptable.
Well, that went smoothly.
Indeed.
I believe we could all do with some rest. We will come back to this in the morning when we have cleared our minds.
Vulcans do not need rest. However, meditation would prove useful.
Miller, please escort the Ambassador to her quarters.
Morning, Commander.
Lieutenant? Running late?
Sort of. I managed to acquire a bottle of Klingon chili sauce from our friends from the negotiation yesterday. I was up and down all night, if you catch my drift. But it does taste nice, though.
Sounds delightful. Although, I'm not sure that's proper behaviour for a new head of security.
Head of security?
I've been talking to the captain. We still need someone to fill the role after the demise of Lieutenant Edwards. Your name has cropped up.
Well, I'll be honest.
We haven't made a final decision yet, but if you keep your ears open, your eyes sharp, you'll make a fine candidate.
Thank you, sir. I won't let you down.
Ambassador?
Computer, what's the location of the Vulcan Ambassador?
Ambassador Staubach is in her quarters.
Open it.
I'm sorry, Captain. I know I was assigned to protect the Ambassador. I should have done.
Lieutenant, let's focus on finding those responsible for this murder and worry about blame later.
I've confined the Klingons to their quarters for the time being. However, they're uncharacteristically tight-lipped about the whole incident.
I don't think it was the Klingons that did this, Commander.
Explain.
This is a show killing. It doesn't make sense for them not to take the credit. It's not their style.
I disagree. All evidence here points to Klingon involvement.
I'm going to have to agree with the Commander, Lieutenant. All you have at the moment is a hunch. However, I've been speaking with the Admirals at Starfleet Command. They're worried. Talks with the Klingons are breaking down because of this, and they're preparing for the worst. Our orders are to finish up our duties here at Starbase, and then pull back to the front lines in preparations for war. Miller, I want you to conduct an investigation. If there is any shred of proof that the Klingons are not involved in this, we need you to find it, and quickly.
No pressure then.
Doctor, have you been able to find anything on the murder weapon?
Well, I've run scans on traces of blood found on the bat'leth, and I found 2 DNA signatures. One, of course, is the Vulcan ambassador. The other is human.
Human? So it wasn't a Klingon. It was a human that killed the ambassador.
Well, no. It only means that the bat'leth came in contact with a human. There's no evidence. It's purely circumstantial.
Bridge to Captain Castile. Can you report to the bridge? Klingons are getting restless.
Acknowledged, Bridge. Doctor, please continue with your scans.
Let me know as soon as you have anything, Doc.
Open a hailing frequency to the Klingons.
Captain, you are holding our ambassador without cause. Release him now, or feel our wrath.
I can't do that, Captain. Your ambassador is a suspect and currently under investigation.
Our ambassador is protected by the Kittimer Accords. Release him now.
I will, after our investigation has been completed.
We will not ask again.
No.
Bah, Vinesh. Shields down to 92%. Shall we return fire?
No, I will not be responsible for starting a war.
You have 1 hour to release our ambassador. If not, treaty or no treaty, you will be choking on the darkness of space.
They powered down their weapons, but they still have a lock on us.
Lower our shields, but stay on yellow alert. Miller, I want you to focus your investigation on the bat'leth. Something's not right.
Sick bay to Lieutenant Miller.
Lieutenant Miller here. Anything new to report from it?
After a multitude of scans, I found something interesting. A 3rd DNA trace embedded in the human DNA. It's Romulan.
Romulan? So they have a spy on board? Any idea who it might be? Doctor? Doctor? Sickbay, priority 1. Doctor?
Lieutenant, what's happened?
It's the doctor. He's been attacked.
What's his condition? Will he be alright?
He's received a severe trauma to the base of the skull. And someone's taken the bat'leth.
It's probably your Romulan spy. I'll go and inform the captain.
Commander, I never told you about the Romulan spy.
You know, Miller, I never really liked you anyway. But thank you for being the perfect scapegoat.
Miller to Bridge.
Bridge here. What is it, Lieutenant?
Miller, stop.
I found out who murdered the ambassador.
Miller, I am warning you. Lower the force field now. That's an order.
It's Stoven. He's a Romulan spy.
What?
That was a mistake, Miller.
You got careless, Commander. You should never have mentioned a Romulan spy. Seemed like I'm not the only one with a loose tongue, it seems.
Lieutenant Miller, I want you to arrest Commander Stoven and place him in the brig, pending an inquiry.
Understood, Ma'am.
Computer, activate Stoven Protocol 24601. Enable.
Oh, what happened? You were stunned. Good job you didn't set your face to kill.
And where's Stoven, or whatever he's bloody called?
I don't know, but you're needed on the bridge.
Miller, you better have a damn good reason for...
Stoven tried to kill me. He attacked the doctor in the sickbay in an attempt to hide evidence that might implicate him in the murder of the Vulcan ambassador.
Where's Stoven now? What was that?
Reading a shuttle, exiting the Longshanks and heading away at high impulse.
That's got to be Stoven.
Head after him.
I can't, ma'am. Most systems are still down. Until we get the warp coil back online, we're dead in the water.
Get me the Klingons.
Yes, ma'am.
So, finally decided to release our ambassador. Or do you need more persuasion from our disruptors?
Romulans, Captain. Romulans are responsible for the murder of our ambassador, and most likely the terrorist attack on your homeworld too.
You have proof of this?
The proof is currently leaving the system in a shuttle.
My former first officer, he's a Romulan spy.
The Romulans will rue the day they threatened the might of our empire.
We want him back alive, Captain, to stand trial for his crimes against all races. Engineering, I need that warp core back online, now.
Hush, eat, shut.
Engineering status report.
Almost ready, Captain. Just a few moments long.
How are the Klingons doing?
Not well, Captain.
Engineering, we need warp power.
Warp power back online, Captain.
Helm, intercept that warbird.
Water has taken on heavy damage. The systems are going critical.
Is there any sign of Stovin or the shuttle?
I'm not picking him up on any of the sensors.
Your orders, Captain?
Stand down, red alert. And inform sickbay will be taking on Klingon wounded. In recognition of his recent accomplishments, I hereby promote Lieutenant Miller to the rank of Lieutenant Commander, with all the duties and privileges involved. Congratulations. Fine work in the murder investigation, Miller.
Thank you. Although, I wish the outcome would have been different.
Don't we all?
I mean, I can't believe he fooled us for so long. I mean, he was right there, right in front of my eyes. I should have seen it.
He fooled us all. However, relations with the Klingons have cooled down, and the alliance seems stronger than ever, which, I suspect, was the last thing the Romulans wanted.
Perhaps a brighter future will come of all of this then.
Perhaps.
Sorry, Captain, but the newly promoted Lieutenant Commander needs to focus on his duties and deliver a speech.
Well, thank you. Look, I want to thank the Academy, Starfleet Academy. Look, I hope to do the best job I can for the best crew and the best of friends I've ever had the pleasure of working with. Well, most of us anyway. No, look, what I mean to say is that I'm really honoured to be... I'm really... Oh boy.
Oh boy. Ja. Oh boy. Da kommt noch was. Dann schauen wir mal rein her. Deception 3 war das letzte vor dem Jahr. Da kommt ein bisschen Dragon Ball und ein bisschen andere Sachen. Naja. Weil auch hier sonst noch andere Sachen. Das ist okay. Weißt du nicht, warum das Ding Deception 3 heißt? Weil ich sehe hier weder 1, 2 noch ein sonst. Aber... Ist ja eigentlich auch egal, ne? Also... Deception 3. Ad per Asta. Wollen wir mal eben reingucken, weil ich nicht weiß, was das ist. Ja, okay, das packen wir dann bei Raumschiffe mit rein. Leo ist nur Raumschiffe. Bei den anderen weiß ich nicht, wie lange sie sind. Und ich würde sagen, wir machen auch morgen mit weiter. Weil ich nämlich schon hardcore müde bin. Und morgen früher wieder mal raus muss um 5. Und der alte Mann braucht seine paar Stunden Schlaf. Verzeiht's mir. Ich wünsche euch einen wunderbaren Abend noch. Jetzt, wo ich rausgefunden habe, wo der Fehler lag. Beim Streamen werden wir das wohl hoffentlich ganz behoben haben und weiter so beibehalten und weiter streamen. Wie gesagt, morgen geht's weiter. Da gucken wir dann. Mal gucken hier. Underground müsste das sein. Den hatten wir, glaube ich, auch schon gesehen, aber ich bin mir da nicht ganz sicher. Also, wie gesagt, gucken wir uns morgen dann an. Und damit ihr das wisst. Morgen Abend, selbe Stelle, selbe Welle, dann wieder 19 Uhr. Und bis dann würde ich mal sagen. Macht's gut. Bye, bye.